Hey guys, it's Najwa. As the title above states, I will be doing my foundation routine. If you hear any noise in the background, my little doggy is here, so she will be getting into some trouble. But yeah, I'm doing my foundation routine, and before we start, I just want to go over like my skin and how it is so that it can help you understand why I do the things that I do in my foundation routine. So I have pretty combination skin. I get oily in my T-zone area right here and above my eyebrows, my chin and stuff. I get oily there. Everywhere else is normal or maybe a little bit dry. It depends on the weather. And as you can see, I have like scarring from pimples that I tried to pop. This is a birthmark. But I have scarring here. I have uneven skin tone under my eyes. It's a little dark. So, I mean, no one's perfect. I have unevenness in my skin. I also have like darkness here, but I definitely have found a routine that helps, you know, to try to correct that in the form of makeup. And also my skincare routine is helping a lot too. Of course, before you apply any type of makeup, you want to make sure that your skin is prepped for makeup application. I always put chapstick on. I actually have been using the Palmer's Cocoa Butter formula. It's for dry skin anywhere really, but I use it for my lips because it keeps it really moisturized. And I also use a face moisturizer. Right now I'm using the e.l.f. Daily Facial Moisturizer, I think it's called. I don't have it with me right now, but that's what I use. As a added step, I also like to use the MAC Fix Plus, and this just helps to make your foundation or go on or apply a bit more dewy. It's not drying and you won't dry out during the day. So I'll put my moisturizer on and then I'll spray Fix Plus all over my face, which let me do right now. And I just do a light spray. It doesn't have to be anything too crazy. And then after that dries or settles in, I go in with a primer. Now for primers, I've used a few. I've used the Makeup Forever primer, which is great because it minimizes pores, any pores that you might have. But I live in Florida and I tend to want my makeup to stay. That's my problem, that like during the day you can see that it is just, or at the end of the day you can see that it's not as crisp as in the, you know, when you started. So I try to go for something that helps your makeup to last longer. And what I've been using is the Nivea Sensitive Post Shave Balm. This is definitely a really good product to help help your makeup to last. So I just get a bit of that and work it into my skin, and I massage that around until it gets a bit tacky. So that's that in terms of priming. Now you want to start by either, now a lot of people correct prior to applying foundation. I like to apply my foundation, a light layer, and then correct, and then apply a very light layer over that. So the foundations that I've been using lately and loving is the Makeup Forever, of course. This is the Matte Velvet Plus Foundation, and I'm in number 65. I also use the Nars. This is a Weightless Luminous Foundation. I'm in Syracuse. The Matte and Poreless by, what is this, Maybelline. The Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. This one's a bit light for me. So when I use it, I concentrate it mostly on the center of my face, and then I definitely bronze up to get my color back, you know. And I also use the MAC Studio Fix foundation, and this one is in NC44. Oh, the matte and poreless, I'm in number 228. I might have to get like a shade darker, but I like it. It works. I can still work with it, you know. So I'm gonna use the Nars Weightless Luminous foundation. So this foundation, you have to shake it up. Most foundations I tend to shake up because when it's sitting on your makeup vanity, the oils separate from, you know, everything else. So you just want to make sure to give it a good shake prior to applying. I like to apply maybe like 3 or so pumps to the back of my hand. And then I go in with my brush. And the brush that I like to use is the e.l.f. powder brush. I just like this because it applies the foundation quickly, and it just, I don't know, it gives good coverage as well. Like some brushes, they soak up a lot of the product. This one, you just dot it all over your face and you apply it and the coverage is still there. So now for color correcting, I'll move on to that because that's what I do next. I volleyball between two different things. I have my Anastasia palette here, and this is the medium palette that has that beautiful shade. Or the MAC Prep and Prime, what is this? Highlighter in Peach Luster. It's a orange, I don't know if you can see it, it's an orange highlighter. I use that like on a daily, mostly, but today I'm going to use the palette from Anastasia. Now, okay, so after I've applied that orange tone to correct any darkness, I go in again with my foundation brush, and just on my chin area, I'll pat just a bit more of foundation, just like the tiniest drop that you can get out. I'll just pat a bit more of that foundation, and also on my forehead where that spot was, because I don't want to really apply a thick, I do this because I don't really want to apply a thick layer of concealer to cover that, so I just apply a bit more foundation. Now that that's done, I like to go in with my concealer. So the concealer that I've been loving is this, the LA Girl Pro Conceal. This one is in pure beige. I think I need to go maybe one shade lighter, but for now, this is what I'm using until it's done. So I just blend that out with my Real Technique sponge, and as you can see, you don't see the orange concealer under my eyes. Everything just looks really concealed. You don't see any dark circles or anything like that. So after I blend, I like to actually go in with something else under my eyes. This is new, but I've been loving using it. It is a highlight and contour duo, and I use the highlight under my eyes because it's a touch lighter, and I just like trace right here in the very center and some on the forehead, on the chin, just the areas that we highlight. And I've been loving that. So that is the highlighted, you know, under my eyes and concealing. That's what I do. My face is very shiny right now, as you can see. We're gonna definitely take that away. But before we do that, let's do a bit of contouring. Why not? Because we have this bad boy out. So the contour stick section, I'm gonna go in and okay. So now before my concealer starts to like crack and shit, let us go ahead and let's go ahead and set that. I have 3 setting powders here that I enjoy. The first is the Airspun Loose Face Powder. I got this in Walmart. This is the translucent extra coverage one. And then I have my Sasha Buttercup powder. This one is amazing because it's yellow, and I like to set my under eyes with something yellow. And then I also have the MAC Prep and Prime powder. I have been mixing a lot lately, so I've kind of been mixing all 3 of these. I take the cap of the Airspun powder, and I just dust a little bit in there. And then I do the same thing to the rest. And then I go in with either a brush. The brush that I like to use is this e.l.f. brush. It's a blush brush, but the way it's shaped, it's narrow that way and wider that way, so it can really just rest in there. I go in with this brush really on a daily, but today I'm going to use my Real Technique sponge just to blend all those 3 powders together though. I'm taking the brush and I'm just doing this and knocking it back in there, and it blends all 3 together. I don't want to waste this, so just going to dust it here. Alright, so with that sponge, I like to take the flat section and I just gather a whole bunch and I press that in. Okay guys, so my face has been baking for about 5 minutes. I tend to already wipe this off because I have no patience really when it comes to stuff like that. I go in with my Marc Jacobs contour. This is my favorite so far. It's been really working for me on a daily, and I just go in with a angled brush here, and I just okay guys, so that's pretty much what I do. I'm just right. Okay guys, so that's pretty much what I do for my foundation. I'm just gonna show you what I do for my bronzer, blush, highlight, because I guess it's a part of it. My favorite bronzer is the Tarte Amazonian Clay bronzer. This is amazing guys, amazing. It has little tiny shimmers in there, but not something that is, you know, crazy. I like to just dust this big old paddle brush from MAC, I think it's the 150, and just hit the backs of my cheeks. It helps to just warm up my complexion a bit, and I just dust it on my temples as well. Blush. I've been loving this gold freaking highlight powder. It's a gold powder, I think, from e.l.f. It's called Sunkissed. Sunkissed. Now the last thing that I love to do is to set everything, to use a makeup setting spray. I tend to use this on a daily, the MAC Fix Plus, but I also use my Urban Decay cooling and hydrating setting spray. I love this, so I'm gonna use it today. Woo! And I spray a shit ton of this because I used all that powder to bake, to do all that. I like to spray a lot of setting spray because it makes everything just settle into your skin and just look very natural. I like to fan my face so that it dries, you know, quickly. But that's it guys, that is my foundation routine. As you can see, you know, maybe it's a bit much for a lot of people, but this is really what I do on a daily basis. I might switch it up and not do a highlight, not do a bronzer, not do a contour, a harsh contour, but this is really what I do. This is the steps that I take. The products might switch up, but it's still the steps that I take. So I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you learned something from me. Let me know if you have any requests down below or questions. I would love to answer them. Until next time, guys, bye.